Have you ever seen one of those girls who's just crushing life? I mean, she seems so focused and on top of her game. She excels at what she does. She's got an upbeat attitude and she doesn't waste time with self-doubt or negativity. I mean, this girl is strong and beautiful and she's always working hard and pushing past failure to success. She's a ninja babe, and that's you. You are that girl who has confidence oozing out of her skin. You crush it on the ninja course and you follow after your dreams full throttle. You focus on being you and don't compare your journey to somebody else's. Maybe you're listening to this and thinking, gosh, I wish I was that girl. Well, be her. We are all capable of being the best version of ourselves that we can be. And that's what Ninja Babes is all about. Not because we are perfect or like to pretend that we are. As the Ninja Babe community, we support and encourage one another to excel at what we do. We are here for each other like sisters, and we aren't afraid to be transparent about our failures. It's about being willing to be yourself and inspire others to do the same and be strong in their own journeys. Welcome to the Ninja Babes podcast. I'm your host, Kara Palillo, and this is episode number 13, coming at you from Minneapolis, Minnesota. We recorded this episode fresh out of A&W filming. Not sure if anyone can notice, but I had a bit of a sore throat when we recorded this episode. So listening back to this audio, to me it sounds like I'm struggling a little bit. Something a little wonky going on with my voice, kind of sounds like my vocal cords were strangling me from the inside out. You know, tried to hide it as much as I could, but if when you listen to the interview I sound a little bit different, that's probably why. If you haven't seen the American Ninja Warrior Minneapolis qualifying episode yet, check it out on NBC.com or Hulu or wherever it is that you watch, because some of the ladies that I've interviewed on the Ninja Babes podcast are in that episode. Last time in the rookie episode, we talked to Jamie Ross. Soon to come, we have Sarah Schobeck. And today, the woman of the hour is Jennifer Tavernier. And their City Finals episode will be in August, so make sure you get your watch parties ready. Or actually, it might be the beginning of September. Ha, don't quote me on that. Before we jump into the episode today, I just wanted to say that editing these Minneapolis interviews brings me such joy. I was able to spend about 9 days in Minnesota for A&W filming, and while I was there, I got to compete in a UNAA, train at Conquer and Obstacle Academy, and then interview some amazing women for the podcast. I would love to come to your city to have some fun and train and host some Ninja Babes workshops. These events are brand new. Our workshops focus not only on ninja training, but mental strength training as well, helping your mind and body come into tune with one another so that you can kick some butt on the ninja course and conquer any fear that tries to come your way. There are a few kids and adults workshop dates coming up in August at High Exposure Climbing in Northville, New Jersey. If you're in the area, definitely come on out. I would love to meet you and see you and enjoy these workshops together. I'll post the dates on the Facebook and on the Ninja Babes website and all that goodness so that you can see it. Hey, Jen.
Yay. Good. I'm so happy to be here.
Woohoo. So I like to play this game called High Point, Low Point. And I know it's only 10:33 in the morning, but definitely I feel like every day, no matter what, even if you just woke up, still has a high point and a low point so far. So take a second. What's the best thing and the not best thing that's happened so far today?
Oh, goodness. Best thing was getting a surprise box of Dough Bar protein donuts in my mailbox and eating them. Low point was the rain.
It hasn't stopped raining for like days.
It does that. The sun will come back. It's May.
Yeah. Everyone keeps saying you haven't had a spring here yet.
No,
like
we had a blizzard and 30 days later it was 100 degrees.
How's it going? What are you looking forward to this summer? Are you just ninja training, going on any trips?
You know, I am going to really just go back to enjoying working out again. I feel like I've been so focused on the show, and I'm kind of relieved that I just get to go back to doing what kind of training I want. And maybe that is going to include some ninja training. But I'm definitely going to do a lot of weightlifting, and I'm going to get outside, and I'm going to run and walk the lakes, and yeah, just enjoy my fitness again and take a breather.
You have beautiful lakes here, so it's like the perfect place to just enjoy nature and be outside.
I do. I love getting outside.
Tell me how you became who you are today. Like, what Why did you even get into fitness in the first place? Were you always
Sure.
fit? Did you always do sports?
Yeah, I've always loved moving. Like, I've known that my body kind of lights up when it gets to be active. But I never was kind of on a path to do fitness. I played sports. I played tennis through college. And then I got married really early. I got married in college and had a baby when I was 25 and was kind of looking for something. A friend invited me to a stroller fitness class.
Oh, wow.
Where all these awesome moms got together and played music, and there was an instructor, and she took us through this workout while we sang the ABCs to our kids. And but it made me fall in love with fitness. I became a group fitness instructor and then a personal trainer. Ran my own little stroller fitness company for a couple of years. And then it just kind of evolved from there. I took HIIT fitness classes for a couple of years. I did CrossFit for a while, and then I found Ninja. And Ninja was just like this perfect fit for me. And started, a friend told me to start an Instagram account, and I had no idea what Instagram was. This was like 3 years ago. And I just started putting out training videos one a day of what I was doing. And it took off and has turned into a full-time job for me.
Would you have seen yourself doing that like a few years prior?
No, I mean, not necessarily. I like I said, I didn't even know what Instagram was. I had no idea that you could make a living off of it. And I was just trying, like, my motivation for making an Instagram account was to get on American Ninja Warrior. I wanted people to see my content, see what I was training, see how, just be able to watch what I was doing. And so I was just trying to get myself out there, and turned into something even better.
Yeah, that's awesome. I appreciate the quality of your videos as well. Like, everything's always so clear and easy to follow. And I know people always pass around your videos like, hey, did you see this? You should do that.
I appreciate that.
Yeah, it's a lot of fun.
It's a lot of work to put together good videos, and I know sometimes some bad ones sneak out in there. But
when you got into Ninja, had you seen it on the show, or were you like a fan of American Ninja Warrior?
No, some of my friends and family messaged me with Casey Catanzaro's, famous run, and I know that is how a lot of women got into Ninja Warrior, but that's the first time that I had ever heard of the show. And saw her run, and I was like, that looks like so much fun. I have to try that.
Yeah. That's awesome.
Yeah. At the time, there wasn't even a gym in Minnesota. So I kind of put it on the back burner. And then the show, they got I had entered in my information on their website that I was interested in applying. And they ended up calling me saying that they needed more females to apply. And I was like, well, what the hell? I'll try it. Yeah. And so I applied, and then I started looking, shortly thereafter, one gym opened up an hour outside of the cities. And so I started training there, and I didn't get on the show that year, but I was able to test. Oh, awesome. It was a good first step, for sure. Yeah, I wouldn't have done very well. I think I would have fallen on the second obstacle. It was this giant swinging obstacle, or slider. That's what it was.
Mm-hmm. Where did you test that year?
Kansas City.
Okay.
Yeah, it was great to be able to get on some of the obstacles and it's just as nerve-wracking, almost as nerve-wracking being a tester.
A little bit. It's like you put the pressure on yourself. Like, you still want to do well.
That's very true.
People are still watching, but...
Yeah, the producers are out there and all the cameras are out there.
Yeah. Testing is great, though. I've tested as well, and it's an awesome confidence booster because you feel yourself on the actual obstacles from the show, and...
Yes.
It's still disappointing if you fall, but at least you are experiencing it, and it takes some of the fear out of it. And then once you do get it, it's just awesome, and you get to get your name out there a little bit.
Yeah, I agree.
Monster Holds has been a longtime sponsor of the Ninjababes podcast. We are so grateful for their support and want you to know, if you haven't heard of them yet, they are a Ninja Holds company, and not just any Ninja Holds company. They are the Ninja Holds company. So if you're into climbing, OCR, or ninja and want to work that grip strength, they have some amazing products to make your workout experience the best it can be. Try them in your home gym, or even bring them with you to your conventional gym. That's a fun way to get some neat stairs. I brought some of my holds with me the other day to use on the pull-down machine, And I just grabbed some carabiners and hooked it up, and it was an awesome way to train my grip and really be able to see points of fatigue and hone in on specific muscle groups in a controlled environment. It was an awesome training, but it was also quite amazing to see some of the meatheads' reactions to my unconventional pull-down grips. So if you haven't checked out Monstro yet, head on over to monstroholds.com and use code Ninjababes, all lowercase, for 15% off your order, excluding wing nuts and sale items. The link is in the show notes. I'm a huge fan of your fitness app, and I use it myself.
Thank you.
And it's definitely,
I love hearing that.
Yeah, the MinneNinja app has definitely helped my grip and even just forced me to get some more cardio in when I don't have time to.
Sure.
But how did you get the idea for the app?
Yeah, so, I mean, my Instagram feed is mainly my training videos, and people just wanted to know. I mean, I got so many questions, how do you train? Like what's your training regimen? Mm. And how do I start? I can't do a pull-up yet. Mm. What do I do? And so I have a background as a personal trainer, and I've, worked with a lot of beginners. And so I wanted to just put something together that I could give to people and be like, here, follow this program. This is what you need to do. And there, really wasn't anything on the market specifically designed to help obstacle course racers, basically. And I know a lot of women in particular, want better grip strength and upper body strength. So that's what the app focuses on. There's 3 different levels that you can, almost every exercise has either an easier option or a harder option, as you know. And, but it takes people who can't do any pull-ups as well as people who can maybe, do a handful of them, and it will kind of max you out. Mm. But then it has if somebody is looking for a full body program, has a couple of leg days in there as well. Mm-hmm. With my favorite leg exercises and booty exercises. Yeah, the leg exercises are great too. And I have a background in running track and doing volleyball, so I naturally really like lower body stuff. Mm-hmm. So I love the box jumps, and they're challenging, the one-legged calf jumps. I love those. It's so good for your ankle. Yeah. And your overall stability and kind of body and space awareness. And balance too. Yeah, for sure. I think balance is so important for rehabilitation if you have any injuries, but also injury prevention. Especially with Ninja, you're landing so much on your, just awkwardly often on the ground, and you want to have strong ankles and knees. Injury prevention is something I always think is so vital and so key that we don't talk enough about. And so just being able to learn how to move technically the right way and support your joints, support your muscles is amazing. Yeah. So I think the app does a good job of just giving you a good structured workout as well. You explain how to set up, how to do the exercise correctly, and that's so important. Thank you. I'm happy to hear that. And also, I'm super excited because we have the second version of the app coming out, hopefully next month, and it's going to have all of the equipment is just super simplified, so people can do the workout completely at home if they want to. I have a ledge system that I'm also coming out with that goes along with the app. It's like a ledge and a bar together that's a super easy installation over a doorway. So there will also be a community feature on the app, so people can talk to each other and ask me questions directly within the app. So yeah, excited about that. Yeah, I'm excited for the update too, because I'll definitely get it on my phone and follow along. But I like the community aspect as well, because app users will be able to connect with their friends who also have the app, basically. Yeah, yep. That's cool. Yeah, within the app. Yeah, that's even way more accountability, and then it's fun to just see what your friends are doing too. Yeah, I think so. The app company Plank came up with that, and I was like, I love that. So if people want to find your app, they can just get it off of the App Store from the Yep, it's only on the Apple Store right now, so they can either go to MinneNinjaApp.com or they can go look it up in the iTunes Store. Sweet. Yeah, definitely check it out. So when you're growing up, did you ever dream of being an athlete or dream of doing anything fitness-wise? A little bit. I was a tennis player. That was kind of my thing, and I can remember thinking how fun it would be to train, basically to just play tennis all day and to get paid for doing that. But I never really thought that I was good enough to be a professional tennis athlete. Mm-hmm. I never kind of let myself think that could be a possibility or I don't know. I grew up really in a culture that kind of boxed in a lot of my potential to dream. And I thought that I was just going to grow up being a mom. And that's kind of what I dreamed about, just being a wife and a mom. And I mean, there's nothing wrong with that. And I love being a mom. But it's been such a like liberating experience kind of to let go of some of those limiting beliefs and let myself go for what I want and be able to throw myself into fitness and throw myself into ninja. Yeah, it's been fantastic.
Yeah. Did you go to school for personal training? Or did you
nope. I went to school to be an elementary education teacher because that is a good thing to do if you're going to be a mom. Yeah, I hated it. It was not a good fit for me. I don't enjoy trying to keep other people's children in line all day. That was very stressful.
Did you actually work as a teacher?
I did. I taught 4th grade for a year, and then I taught ESOL for a year, and then I was a math teacher for kids who needed extra help outside the classroom. And then I got pregnant and I quit. I was very happy to stop teaching.
Wow, I didn't know that. I wouldn't have guessed that. Not that,
right. Well,
not that
yeah.
I just had no idea. Yeah, when I was growing up, I always just wanted to do what my older brothers were doing. So I was always like climbing trees or like wanting to play wiffle ball with them. And half the time, I was just the little sister sitting out there watching.
Sure, right.
Not being involved. But now being involved with ninja and being an athlete, it is so freeing because it's kind of like when I was younger, I didn't necessarily have expectations of myself of being so strong. And to be in that place now is just amazing. And I think it's so important to, like you were mentioning, just like not having any limits on your own brain or your own expectation for yourself. And I think that's something that I felt a lot growing up is just my mom, both my brothers are teachers, and that's awesome. But I always felt like I was supposed to be like them.
Sure.
And like they're book smart and then like the way that they excelled in classes and things like that. But it didn't really come naturally to me. Like my brothers would be in AP classes and I felt like they never studied and they got great grades. And I was in, the normal level classes, but would study my butt off like for hours just to, to get good grades because I wanted to. But I felt like I had to prove myself.
Yeah.
And so now doing something that I feel is completely me, just being involved with sports and even my job as a sign language interpreter and painting, like all those things are me. And so I think it's so freeing and amazing just to go after what your own personal dream and personal skills are.
Yeah, that's so fun to hear that.
Yeah.
And I'm with you 100%. I think there's no like one track to follow to be successful. And I mean, everybody's wired so differently and everybody has so many things that are unique to them. And I mean, my 2 little girls, they're night and day different. And I want them each to, excel at what they love to do and what they want to do. And, especially like with social media now, there's so many, the doors are just open to opportunity to pursue what is in your heart and what you do uniquely want to do. But yeah, I mean, I remember like what you're talking about, even not feeling like you could embrace how strong you were. And I remember just being super self-conscious of like being muscular. And that wasn't like I remember just like even looking at other girls and like in their swimsuits and they had like these like round hips and like mine hips have never looked like that. I've had obliques like since I was born. I don't know. It's just like how my genetics were and I loved to run and move. So that's just how they looked. But yeah, I remember Christmas Abbott, like looking at her pictures and she was kind of the first person to help me embrace or be like, start thinking that, oh, like I can look like that and I can still be beautiful and maybe I can be even stronger. Like I wonder how strong I could get, And so I'm thankful for people like her who have been, not afraid to break those boundaries.
Yeah, I love the age that we're in where girls can know that they can be strong and beautiful and that there's no reason that those things shouldn't coincide.
Right.
Yeah, I remember feeling so much pressure to be as thin as possible and feel like my beauty or even just my self-worth was directly linked to that.
Mm-hmm.
And now coming away from that and just being myself, and I'm stronger than I've ever been. It's so empowering. And even little things like I can change that giant bottle from the water cooler. Like, I can do those things myself, and because I'm strong, and there's no reason why a woman can't do that. Like, little things like that I'm constantly thinking about.
Yeah.
And it feels good.
Absolutely. I love that word, empowering. It's perfect.
Being a mom, what do you do? Like, what advice might you have for other moms to allow their kids to just be themselves and help them explore, like, their own self and their own desires?
Sure. I mean, I think as a parent, like, you know your kids and you see what they're doing that makes them, you can tell what they love to do.
Yeah.
And so just giving them more opportunities to pursue those things and maybe letting them try some things that they have never tried before, and then just encouraging them, not like placing lots of expectations on them. I mean, it's never easy because you always want your kids to excel and like be the best. And I'm not necessarily saying don't do that, but I think kids will excel at and keep chasing after the things that they love to do naturally. Absolutely.
Do any of your girls, I think one of them does gymnastics, right?
Yeah, they both actually do gymnastics. Oh, awesome. Yeah. They do them with different styles, but they're both in a competitive gymnastics program. Yeah. I feel like gymnastics is a good base for developing strength and flexibility and confidence, and they can do what they want with it. Yeah. Eventually.
Do you ever feel like your job and what you're doing with fitness takes time away from your girls, or do you ever wish that your schedule was more traditional in a sense?
Yeah. I've definitely had those thoughts at some points, but honestly, like, my schedule or my job with what I'm doing is extremely flexible. Like, sometimes I feel like my girls don't think that I work. And I'm really happy that I don't have like a 9-to-5 job. That, you know, I can take them home. I can take them to school every day. I can pick them up from school every day. I can drive them around to their activities, and I can go have lunch with them sometimes. And so I feel like my schedule's pretty flexible. I mean, they understand. They're old enough to stay at home for a little bit by themselves now, and I can be like, hey, I'm going down to the gym for an hour. I'll be back. And they get that, and they understand. And I try to leave a lot of my social media stuff to do when they're not around. One, because I can't focus, but also it's just distracting. I don't like being on my phone that much when they're around.
Do you have a favorite, not a favorite obstacle, but like a favorite workout routine? Like, I know you squat, I know you do everything.
Yeah, right. I mean, I do. I think lifting is like probably leg day is probably my favorite. Deadlifts for sure are my favorite lift. So, but if it's not deadlifts, like if I'm not sure what to do in the gym, like I love it's like 100 pull-ups and maybe 100 to 150-ish push-ups. But I'll just do like sets of 10, maybe sets of 5 until I get there. So I'll just do pull-ups and then push-ups, and then maybe I'll add in pistols or something like that, just a body movement or some air squats. That's kind of my default workout. Yeah, when I feel unmotivated to get to the gym.
That sounds great, though. Like, yeah.
Or even just like stationary biking. I've done a lot of with all my concussion stuff because my head can stay still. So I'll bike for 3 minutes, and then I'll hop off the bike and do 20 push-ups, and then hop back on the bike for another 3 minutes and get back down and do push-ups. So like, especially if I don't have a lot of time, I've got the girls waiting upstairs or something, 20, 30 minutes, I can be feeling pretty worked with that.
Yeah, a lot of listeners have had questions about your concussion experience.
Oh, do
you want to recap for
Sure. Yeah. It's been a little ride, that's for sure. I got my first, I think I've had a couple during training, because I can look back and remember like getting some really bad whiplash on a couple of falls during training. I think all of us probably have experienced that.
Yeah.
I mean, we get thrown around pretty good in Ninja if we're giving it our all and flying through the air. But Team Ninja Warrior Season 2, I took a couple of pretty bad spills, chipped a tooth, and just like got really nasty whiplash on the tile obstacle. I've got that on my social media multiple times, on my Instagram feed. But then I didn't know that I had concussions. It had been like 6 months after getting mono, and I got like a really bad case of mono, so I thought it was just like mono symptoms flaring up. But I was, sick to my stomach for just like weeks. I couldn't get it to go away. So I kind of stopped training, and I did a little more weightlifting because that felt okay. And then maybe 6 months after that, I was trying to prep for A&W 9 and took another fall in the gym and finally put it together that I was having concussion symptoms. And so then that was a year ago, and I started seeing a functional neurologist, and he's made a huge difference. It was pretty bad when I went in to see him. I mean, I could barely, it was difficult for me to carry on like a 60-second conversation. I couldn't scroll through my phone. I couldn't read my emails. Driving made me sick to my stomach. I could barely take care of my girls, having them around, just in the room with me with all their energy. And I mean, it makes me so sad to think about, but I could barely do it. And then just being exhausted all the time. So I'm in a world's better place than I was a year ago. And I mean, yeah, has some different lasers that he uses to combat inflammation in my brain and my neck and my shoulders. And he does a lot of chiropractic work, lots of eye drills and coordination drills. My eye patterns were all off, but he's fantastic. Dr. Jeremy Schmo in Minneapolis. He gets a lot of patients coming in from all over the country, even other countries, to do intensive sessions with him for a week. I mean, even a week or two with him is amazing, the difference that it can make. And so, yeah, I'm super grateful. I don't know quite where I would be without having found him.
Wow. Yeah, that's quite the experience.
Yeah, it's been a ride.
Is there, for your recovery, you still see him, I'm assuming?
I do, especially before Ninja. But yeah, I'll go in once a week or so and just, because even through training, my neck can kind of get thrown off. And I think it's just a lot more sensitive now than it ever was before. So just to make sure everything's looking good. And I still do some of my eye drills and some of my coordination drills. They make a difference for me and how I'm feeling on a daily basis.
Oh, do you follow a certain diet or anything meant to?
Yeah, I'm not as great about my diet as I should be, but I do put in some fish oil and just as many vegetables, and I just try to stay away from foods that are super inflammatory. Juicing, especially when I first hit my head, juicing made big difference. I did a juicing fast for almost a week, and that helped my symptoms a lot. Yeah, I was trying to find anything that I could that would help me, but I've stuck with juicing for quite a while now. If I'm ever feeling run down or just my head's kind of hurting, or I'll put ginger and turmeric and carrots and kale and celery, whatever.
I'm glad that you've come so far.
Thanks. Yeah.
Going from struggling with 60-second conversations to being able to record a podcast.
Yep, I would have been doing this a year ago. I would have sorry. Thank you, but sorry.
Yeah. Do you have any advice for athletes who've had concussions? Or obviously your symptoms are extreme, but I'm sure you've learned about even just bumping your head. How would you be able to know if you've had a concussion?
Sure. Any of those things that I mentioned, if you're feeling nauseous, that's not a good sign. I feel like that's one of my worst symptoms. Migraines or just consistent headaches, feeling exhausted, dizzy. Sometimes I'll just if I've bumped my head multiple times over the last year, and I'll get a little week of symptoms or whatever. So sometimes I'll just feel my eyes are just off. They're just not tracking right, or they just don't feel right. So eyes, I mean, those are my biggest ones. And just like tightness in my neck and shoulders.
Yeah.
But yeah, I definitely didn't know that you could get concussions from whiplash.
I didn't know that either.
Yeah. So ninjas out there, if you've got a functional neurologist close to you, it's definitely, if you're having symptoms and don't feel like yourself, I feel like it's absolutely worth going and getting checked out. I mean, you can always, people message me all the time about, what they're going through, and I send them over to my doctor, and he can at least, he knows he has connections all over the world, so he can at least recommend somebody to them, or if it's bad enough, come to Minneapolis. So yeah, people can feel free to shoot me a message if they have a question about it.
Definitely.
Yeah.
Oh man, I bumped my head at the UNIA competition this past Sunday on the I-beam.
Oh.
It hurt. And
yeah.
I could still feel like a little tender spot, but there's been no nauseousness.
That's good.
Nausea, I guess, is the correct word.
Yeah.
I've never experienced a concussion, and there's been a few times that I've fallen from obstacles onto mats, but like the whiplash, like sometimes still feels just as crazy. Mm-hmm. So I always would try to just really evaluate my body and see how I was feeling, but I feel like concussions are like the silent getter. Like you just don't know sometimes, or sometimes I don't feel like people really teach about concussions a lot.
No, so. I mean, I had no idea.
Yeah,
and I mean, even after team, the med team came over and they were like, "Hey, do you want us?" Because I was leaning there, with my eyes closed, couldn't speak, couldn't eat, couldn't talk, for a good hour after I got off the obstacles or out of the water. And they were like, "Hey, do you want us to have their med team check you out?" And I'm like, no, I'm good. And they asked me a couple times, and that was it. People need to be even if they don't necessarily want it, I feel like everybody should be checked out. But it's just not, I don't think it's on people's minds that that's even a possibility. Yeah. I mean, I watch the show now and I just cringe because I'm like, oh, that person got a whiplash. That person got whiplash. And I think, generally people recover from one. And if they're spread out far enough, I don't know that people are even going to feel symptoms, but you get them back to back, and then it starts becoming an issue.
Do you have any other advice for women in general, whether it's about fitness or ninja or even just about life?
Yes, I do. I would say just be patient and give yourself grace and give yourself space. I think we want things to happen overnight, and we want a new body overnight, and we want a new job overnight, and things don't happen like that. And I mean, it's taken years. I mean, I think any fitness person that you look at, it's taking them years and years to get where they are. And I mean, this is not an overnight thing, but you want it to happen overnight, and things can happen quickly if you put in the time and the effort, but it's not going to be overnight. And I think we all just need to give ourselves space and love ourselves through the process. And I feel like that's especially going through challenges and sicknesses, and everybody's got something that they're dealing with. And that's especially more difficult to let yourself heal and let yourself, maybe it's better for you to actually not go to the gym today. Maybe your body really does need a rest day, and it's letting yourself do what it needs to do and being okay with that. And so, yeah, just love yourself through the process.
Yeah, that's great advice. And I think self-love and self-care is something that I feel like a lot of people are starting to talk about, but it's so important to listen to your body and just like you're saying, be patient and give yourself grace and love, and know that every day you're making progress, whether you see it or not, and just trust the process and trust that it's going to be okay.
Yeah.
Even taking a rest day when you need it, and not beating yourself up for it, but just loving your body and loving where your body's at.
Yeah. Absolutely.
Well, thank you so much for being on the show, Jen. You're definitely an inspiration to so many people, and you've helped so many through your videos and your app, and I can't wait to see it grow even more. Thank you so much, and keep on what you're doing. I love it, and you're inspiring a lot of people yourself. Ninjababes. Woo! This has been another great episode of the Ninjababes podcast. Remember, there's more of Ninja Babes on theninjababes.com. There you can see all the podcast episodes, the new full-length blog posts written by Janelle Copa. There's also free downloadables to help you with setting goals and self-motivation. Those I'm really excited about. They're co-written by myself and Sarah Lynn Salisbury-Jones. On the website, there's also the online store, links to the new YouTube channel where you can see content from our email blasts. Through those videos, you can see what other Ninja Babes in the community have to share. Just to name a few, there's ninjas on there like Barclay, Sarah Lynn Salisbury, Tawny Leonardo. There's so much more goodness up online on theninjababes.com, so check it out. And if you aren't already, follow us on Insta. I'm heading to LA for the filming of A&W Junior tomorrow, so see you there if you're going. If you're not, invite me to your city. We'll talk soon. Thanks for listening.
Be strong. Be you. Be a Ninja Babe.
Yeah, like tavern, where you go to eat, and then ear. Tavernier.
Tavernier. Okay.